accept your actions. This is the way of the believer. As for those people who believe that faith is only love, or they believe that faith is only hope, then this is incorrect. As Imam Hassan al-Basri, he mentioned, لَيْسَ الْإِيمَانُ بِالتَّمَنِّي وَلَا تَحَلِّي. Iman is not just false aspirations and desires. Iman is actions, what has been established in the heart, and you carry out the actions to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why we find in the hadith, لَا يُدْخِلُ أَحَدًا مِنْكُمْ عَمَلُهُ الْجَنَّةِ. And none of you, his actions will ever take him to paradise. And they asked the Prophet Muhammad, not even you, will you not even go to paradise? And he said, not even myself, except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala covers me with his mercy. It is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that will make us go into paradise. But at least when you come in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have shown some form of action. You tried your utmost best and said, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, here is my actions. Even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not ghafil, is not unaware that the actions that we do. But you tried your best in this dunya to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we find that this correct belief, to have love and fear and hope of mercy and actions, that is the way and the belief of Ahlul Sunnah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has laid down this criteria himself, that how to make it into paradise. وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ أَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, in erasing one another, in seeking the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَجَنَّةٍ أَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ. Seek the heavens and earth, which is width is like the heavens and the earth, which has been عِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, has been prepared for the believers. And then comes the actions that you have to do. الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. Those people who spend in a time of adversity and a state of hardship, and a state of easiness and a state of hardship. That is a description of those people who will gain this paradise. وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ. Those people who control their anger. وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. And those people who forgive other people. وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. So this is a criteria of entering into paradise. To spend of your wealth, to control yourself, and to have sabr, and likewise to forgive mankind, is a criteria to enter into the Jannah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Likewise, we find another place, سابقوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها كعرض السماء والأرض أعدت للذين آمنوا بالله ورسله. Once again, racing one another to gain that paradise, whose width is like the heavens and the earth. أعدت للذين آمنوا بالله ورسله, which has been prepared for those people who believe in Allah and His Messenger. And what is that preparation which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made for the believers? أعددت لعبادي الصالحين ما لا عين رأت ولا أذن سمعت ولا خطر على قلب بشر. I have prepared for my believing servants what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and has not come upon the hearts of any mankind. This is the preparation which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made for Ibadul Salihin, Ibadul Muttaqeen, the servants who are sincere and fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَلَا تَعْلَمُ نَفْسٌ مَا أُخْفِيَ لَهُم مِّن قُرَّةِ يَعْيُنٍ جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. No soul knows what has been prepared for it. The coolness and the tenderness which has been prepared for the believers. جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. A reward for that which they used to do is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for His people. And we find that a place in paradise, or even a small whiplash in paradise, is better than the dunya wa ma fiha. That just that small space that you have is better than the whole dunya and whatever this dunya contains. Likewise, we find that whenever you ask for Jannah, ask for the highest part of Jannah. Person shouldn't think just Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just enter me into Jannah. إذا سألت فاسأل الجنة الفردوس أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. If you ask, then ask for Jannatul Firdaus. Because underneath Jannatul, or above Jannatul Firdaus, Arshur Rahman, is the throne of Ar-Rahman. And from this Jannatul Firdaus flow, or from the Arsh of Rahman flow the rivers of paradise. So if you ask, then always ask for the highest part. Don't be bakhil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you whatever you ask for. As you find in a hadith, my memory says, Imam Tirmidhi, if you ask mankind, then they become angry. If you don't ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then He will become angry with you. And then a poet, he wrote, if you ask the son of Adam, he becomes angry. He becomes angry if you ask the son of Adam. As for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He does not become angry with you asking. You ask Him day and night, He will forever give you. Because He is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The creation will eventually become tired The father will become tired of the son, of continuously asking. The son will become tired of his brothers, become tired of his family and his friends. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, carry on asking. Ask more and I'll carry on giving you. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The only time that the answer will be stopped is when you are lifted up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So no matter what a person does, forever asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive him and enter him into Al-Jannah. And then we find that when we enter at the edge of Jannah, the edge of Jannah, the gates of paradise, and all of these descriptions have been mentioned in such books as Sahih Muslim. If you look at Kitabul Jannah wa Na'imu Ahliha, the book of paradise and the blessings, Kitabul Jannah wa Sifatu Na'imiha wa Ahliha, and the descriptions of the good things for the people of paradise and the people living in paradise. That the gates of paradise are open every Monday and Thursday. And that's why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would like to fast on those 2 days. That he wanted his actions to go up on the 2 days when Jannah, when paradise is open, on a Monday and on a Thursday. And likewise we find that once a person enters into Jannah, that the trees, the shade of the tree, needs a person riding a beast or riding a camel or riding a horse, will take them 100 years to cross just the shade. So imagine the size of this tree in Jannah. To cross the shade will take you 100 years. And the various palaces and pavilions, and you find that the tents that every families will be living inside one tent, and you will not be able, the size of the tent will be so much, you will not be able to see the other person at the other end of the tent. So vast, bricks of gold and silver, ornaments of gold and silver, showing a description of this dunya, that these things are haram in this dunya. To drink from golden cutlery and to drink from silver goblets is haram for the believer. But as for the akhirah, then this becomes halal. Likewise, the wearing of silk robes. The wearing of silk is haram. As we find in a hadith, أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أخذ بحرير بيمينه وأخذ ذهبا بشماله وقال إن هذا حرام على ذكور أمتي أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. He took silk in his right hand and took gold in his left hand, or maybe the opposite way around. And he said that these two are haram for the men of this ummah, to wear silk and to wear gold. And both of these become halal in the akhirah for the believer. And likewise we find al-khamar. The drinking of alcohol is haram in this dunya. But in the akhirah, sharaban tahura, a pure wine. Not the wine of this dunya which intoxicates. A sweet wine will be given to the believer. And 4 rivers are there. Rivers of pure water, rivers of honey, rivers of milk, and rivers of wine. That the person will just take the goblets and drink from whatever they want to drink from. This is the 4 rivers which has been prepared for the believers inside al-akhirah. And likewise we find the other descriptions of the type of fruit that will be given to the believers in paradise. That the name may be the same, and the shape will be the same, but the size will be different. The color will be different. The taste will change. Every time you bite it, it will change. It may be called an apple, but it will change continuously. Every time you bite into it, it tastes into a different flavor. This is something which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made for the believers in paradise. And then we find the greatest thing, or one of the greatest things in al-paradise will be, before that we find that there will be no state of going to the toilet or defecating or urine. Everything will be pure. And then when some of the companions asked that, how will a person relieve themselves? And it stated that the way to relieve themselves is by belching, is by burping or by the sweat. And even the sweat which comes out then will be the smell of musk. But even sweat on that day in paradise will be the smell of musk. And then people will go on Yawmul Jum'ah to the marketplaces and return back to their families. And the family will say to them, verily you become more beautified. And they will say, verily you as well have become more beautified. So if forever there will be youthhood in paradise, that the person will always remain on that constant age and forever becoming more and more beautiful in this paradise which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared. And likewise we find that the person will never fall ill, and there will be no going old, and there will be no death. Ya ahl al-jannah khuludun fala maut. That a kabsh will be bought, a ram will be bought on the edge of Jannah and the edge of Nar. And the people of Jannah will know that this is death. And the people of hellfire will know that this is death. And it will be said to the people, Ya ahl al-jannah khuludun fala maut. O people of Jannah, live forever, live eternally, and there is no death for you. And the people of hellfire will be said to them, Ya ahl al-nar khuludun fala maut. O people of hellfire,